If I become president, the era of nation building will be brought to a very swift and decisive end.
As a candidate, Donald Trump promised a radically different approach to foreign intervention.
We've spent now $6 trillion in the Middle East. We could have rebuilt our country twice.
For years, Trump criticized U.S. wars, arguing they were a waste of lives and money. But how has Trump handled those conflicts during his first year as president? The short answer? There hasn't been a drastic change. In fact, Trump has shown he's anything but reluctant to use U.S. force overseas. Since Trump took office, the U.S. military presence in the Middle East and North Africa has jumped by a third. The U.S. is also carrying out more bombings. Last year, the U.S. dropped 30% more bombs on Iraq and Syria than in 2016, and 3 times as many on Afghanistan. Drone and other airstrikes also continued to expand in 2017, especially in Pakistan, Libya, Yemen, and Somalia.
Strikes in Yemen have tripled and doubled in Somalia this year compared to last. So the uptick in strikes in these countries was largely a part of parts of both countries being declared areas of active hostilities, which essentially means the US could launch strikes with fewer constraints.
Add it all up, and it's hard to see Trump's foreign policy as any less interventionist than his predecessors. If anything, it's just a little more hawkish, says Christopher Preble with the Cato Institute.
He's largely continued what he inherited with some additional increment of the use of force. So I think in the case of Afghanistan, for example, he, even though he had in earlier years railed against the war, he expanded the war that he inherited.
Trump isn't the only president who's struggled to fulfill his campaign promises on foreign policy. Barack Obama, for instance, promised to bring home troops from Iraq, and he did, before eventually sending them back to fight Islamic State.
I am here tonight to lay out our path forward in Afghanistan.
It's a reminder that presidential candidates promise a lot when it comes to foreign policy, but they can't always deliver. Bill Gallo, VOA News, Washington.